Everybody, welcome. This is the final race of the group stage from Canyon Endurance Premiership Season 6. This is the Premier League race played on Kuusenkerkkä by Larens. The world record is held by Mebe 12 with a 102.774. We missed the start of the map because we were looking at the rankings, but that doesn't really matter. We're discovering the map as it goes, with a tight section coming up right here, 3 seconds in. Then banked corner right here, long winding right hander that then tightens to a U-turn through this checkpoint right here, then snap back out of it for the left-hander and then chicane, the piff path as we like to call him, for instance. Negotiated downhill really smoothly, tried to not get any airtime to continue to have grip and continue accelerating. And then this snaking session, 2 U-turns, one to the right, one to the left. Then this jump right here towards the second to last checkpoint, then negotiate the uphill right here, then final checkpoint here with a final U-turn, which can be a little bit tricky and a little bit tight, and then towards the start finish line to start the lap with this mound right here, then drop down towards here for this platform part, and then restart a new lap. So yeah, good luck, have fun everyone. This is the final race of the group stage, as we said. At the end of this race, the top 5 of the Premier League will be qualified straight to the Grand Final and have a week of respite since the Grand Final is only on June 7th. GLHF, the race is about to get underway. We're going to be spectating Larens from Team Smurf 1 for the start of this race, crossing the start finish line now to start lap number 1, and here we go then with Larens. Currently Eric getting the whole shot for the first CP, but Cloud going over the really inside line. We're trying to get into the lead. Yogo going a little bit wide, touching the outside wall, and he's going to be down in order quite quickly here, as currently it is Rex, LMB, Willie, and Cloud in 1, 2, 3. Contact also getting into the ropes and currently taking the lead from Cloud and Eric in 3rd place. Eric 2nd, Cloud 3rd, LMB, Willie in 4th, Matze 5th, Suram 6th, Mixu 7th, Vince 8th, Noni 9th, and Bull in 10th. Bull currently dropping down like a stone in the rankings after that dodgy line in this U-turn, and he's going to be able to climb back a few positions with that better amount of speed compared to the rest of the people, but he's currently still deep within the pack. He's currently within 10th position right now, as he currently tries to chase Vince from Team Kuusenkerkkä. Vince with a bit of a shady entry into the U-turn, and he gets overtaken by Yogo as well as by Bull. Bull currently moving up to 8th as a result of that. Yogo climbing right onto his tail as we end lap number 1. It is Kuusenkerkkä, Cloud, Eric, Matze, Suram, Mixu, Willy, Yogo, Bull, and Vince, your top 10. Rex 11th, Doni 12th, Larens 13th, Voyager 16th, Cine Mini 15th, Molly Trolley, Mr. Trolley Molly 16th, Coco 17th, and Dex currently in final position. Meanwhile, Rex is in 10th place, Vince in P9, right just behind that train for 5th place. It seems as it's like, no, even 3rd place, since yeah, Matze and Eric are locked in a battle for 3rd position, and that battle is looking to be pretty tense. Currently, Eric still has the advantage, and he seems to have made it stick compared to Matze in 4th position. Willie is in 5th place, currently under threat from Suram. Suram will overtake him as a result of this corner, but watch out for the snake section. We can see dodgy entries really undo a lot of good work. Willie negotiating that beautifully, but it seems as the Suram got more momentum than Willie as a result of that part, and he will be able to overtake Willie and potentially Matze, make short work of the entire extremely disorientated team in one fell swoop. Let's see. Nope, not so far. It seems as though the two players are currently running within a group right now, and it seems as though we got a lot of good stuff. Let's see. Let's actually check the times that were posted. 5th local record. So currently the fastest lap of the race is for Cloud with a 103.291. Cloud trying to catch back up to Quentin. Quentin is currently a 10th in front of Cloud, who just touched the wall just as we switch cameras to him, and that's going to allow Quentin to pull away to around half a second compared to Cloud in 2nd place, and Eric is going to be able to catch back up to Cloud as a result of that blunder and try to pull himself closer to 2nd place as a result of that. Meanwhile, Willie and Matze are battling it out for 4th place, and Matze made the mistake first, and that's going to allow Suram, that's also going to allow Yogo, Rex, Vince as well to go through, and Matze is down to P9 in the space of a few corners, just like that, on the snap of a finger. Meanwhile, Vince is currently having despite a really shaky start of being down in 10th, he's finding himself in 6th position, so yeah, he's in good place, in good standings to actually score some points for Team Kuusenkerkkä. Even though they will not be able to catch back up to get a straight qualification slot to the Grand Final, he's currently looking in pretty good shape. Larens, even though you might think he would have no home ground advantage, he's currently in the depths of 16th position, 4.8 seconds down, 5 seconds down even on the leader, and currently half a second down on his on one of his fellow Smurf brethren, Noni from Team Smurfin 2. Meanwhile, towards the front, the gap has somewhat widened between Cloud and Kanta. Kanta in first place, 6/10 in front of Cloud. Then half a second down, we find Erik in third place. Then a further 10th down, a further half a second down, we find Willy and Suram battling it out for 4th. Currently, Willy and Suram are looking to battle it out to score some big points in this category. Remember, Extremely Sorted is currently in P4, Demise is in P2, so yeah, currently it is LNB Willy who's trying to get the more points than Demise, even though they're assured a qualification spot in the grand final. They want to finish on and quickly score as many points as possible, as Yogo manages to get past Suram and demote him to P6. So yeah, Team Exortus not saying his last words just yet, even though they might be going to the qualification final after all. They're still looking to put on a good show and score some big points. Meanwhile, Mixu, who's just in front of Rex, is not having a bad race so far after 5 laps, with 8th place so far, 3 seconds down on the leader. Meanwhile, the battle for 5th position is currently raging between Suram, Yogo, and Vince, as Yogo goes really wide ahead, a really wide line for that corner, so that's going to allow Vince to go through. Suram is battling it out with Vince as the present moment. Vince gets the whole shot in the CP with the P5, but Suram keeps him in list and keeps the pressure on the Team Kupferosse driver from Germany, as he got a little bit of a 2-wheel there. That's going to allow Suram with much more speed, much more traction to go back past him for 5th position. And yeah, the battle is still going to be locked with Yogo, also trying some aggressive lines in the snake section. Ooh, almost touching the outside wall. That's going to drop a little bit of momentum, surely. That's going to allow Vince to get back up to 6th position. Meanwhile, Suram has managed to hold on for dear life and go on to 5th position. I don't know if you're going to know the qualification finals maps right after the day has ended, Mano. We're going to have to wait a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see, basically. Wait and see. Meanwhile, Erik and Cloud are somewhat getting a little bit close together. Currently 3/10 of a second of a gap between the 2nd and 3rd place, but Erik managed to pull a little bit closer to Cloud in 2nd position. It's not so much as half a second as we saw in the previous laps. It's now down to 3/10, so we could potentially see Erik try to pull a move sooner rather than later here on Cloud for 2nd position. Erik trying to score some points for Team Broken Wrist and assure the qualification spot for that, given that he's the only representative of Team Broken Wrists for this particular race. Trying to overtake Cloud here in this snaking section. Poor Dex, you're right, Basta. Poor Dex, not having touched the game for 2 weeks. He's already 3 laps down. Meanwhile, as we cross the line for lap number 6 to be completed, we're a quarter of the way through the race. Contact Alpine in first place, half a second in front of Cloud, then 3/10 further down we find Erik in 3rd place, LNB Willy 4th, Vince in 5th position, who is overtaking both Yogo and Suram. Yogo 6th, Suram 7th, Rex in 8th place, Mixu 9th, and Matze in 10th. Cinemini is in 11th place, Voyager in 12th place, Bull in 13th position, Mr. Trolley Molly in 14th position. Then we got Larenz in 15th, Noni 16th, Coco 17th. Oh, and it seems as though Dex has got a D and F. That's an F. That's going to be an F in the chat for Dex, who just had a disconnect, unfortunately. Connection issues. He proposed a deal to play with tonight, but he refused. He should have accepted that because, yeah, even though you're going to get into the qualification final anyway, it would have been nice to see 2 players finishing in Team Speedrun, but that's a bit of a diversion topic. Meanwhile, Erik has managed to get past Cloud once we were discussing that, and yeah, he's currently trying to catch back up to Kanta in first place. Oh, the game just said, no, I'm not having you. Oh, okay, so yeah, I kind of had the same issue before at TTC as well, so yeah, F for Dex, unfortunately, in the chats, who has joined us to watch the Premier League race as a spectator. He would have preferred to play, but unfortunately the game decided otherwise. But meanwhile, as we say that, Erik is catching back up to Kanta in first place. Hello, Idriak. I hope you're doing well. You're in for the rest of the Premier League race for the Season 6 of Canyon Endurance Premiership. Meanwhile, Kanta Kaltra still leading the race, but otherwise he's getting caught by Erik's bit by bit. Although the gap has somewhat stabilized to a quarter of a second right now, Erik could still be able to pull a move. Meanwhile, Cloud is under pressure from LMB Willie. Willie has also overtaken. Oh no, I might have actually been mistaken here, and he's made a mistake before I was able to get an action from LMB on Cloud, and Willie is down even in 5th as Vince passed him. Cloud is still in 3rd place. Quentin with the wide line, he could have touched the wall here. He manages to keep it out of the harm's way. New lap record for fastest lap, sorry, for Cloud with a 103.109. Quentin is still in 1st place, quarter of a second in front of 2nd place. 103.17 actually is the fastest lap of the race for Eric. I completely forgot about that. Down to under 2/10 now, so the battle is brewing for 1st place here. We could be set to have a stunning battle a third of the way through the race for 1st place between Quentin 43 from France and for Team Godspeed, and Eric from Team Broken Wrist from Germany. And here we go, Eric trying to catch back up. There we go, he's within his gearbox right now. He's within the gearbox of Quentin, and he's going to try to make a pull a move in the next couple of corners. Here comes the snaking U-turn section. To the right, snap to the left. Then there we go, it's going to be a lead change, ladies and gentlemen, towards the next CP. Eric has taken the lead from Quentin 43, and Quentin is not having a word of it as of yet. Currently, he's managed to keep back past Eric for the crossing the start finish line on lap number 10. It is still Quentin in the lead, but by less than a 10th from Eric in 2nd place. The battle is really going really nicely here for that 1st position, and that's going to be looking really spiffy indeed, unless a mistake happens on behalf of one of the 2 players that could potentially ruin their day. Meanwhile, another battle brewing is the one for 6th place between Yogo and Suram, currently trying to catch back up to LMB Willie, and the battle is still going to be tight indeed, but we're going to get back up onto 1st position as we're going to be witnessing potentially round 2 of the battle for the lead between Eric and Quentin 43. Quentin 43 in 1st place, remember, as Eric will try to pull with a bit of a more aggressive line in the downhill, and it seems as though it's paying off slightly, not really as much as the previous lap though, as he's currently a little bit further than a little bit under a 10th compared to Quentin, but in this snaking section, no, not quite. The exit was kind of shoddy compared to Quentin, so that's going to allow Quentin to retain the lead from Eric, 1.5 tenths up in front of the Broken Wrist driver for 2nd place. Cloud in 3rd place, 2 seconds down on that lead battle right there, and then 4th place for Vince. Meanwhile, for Team Kuusenkerkkä, then LMB Willie in 5th position, sorry, just in front of Suram, who's managed to catch back up to him, as well as Yogo going for the really aggressive strats and aggressive lines right there. It's not really paying off. He's still in the battle for Suram for 6th position, and now he's currently trying to catch back up to LMB Willie and try to get a little bit of a gap here. No, Eric is not Eirik Holdal. So yeah, the gap for the lead is still relatively tight. Of course, it has widened to 3/10 from in the meanwhile to 2/10 now, but it's still looking to be a pretty solid battle for that very lead position here, with the juicy points that come with it. Although neither of those teams really do need it, maybe Broken Wrist more than others, it's still going to be a nice addition to have a race win under their belt, especially more for Godspeed, since Quentin 43 is the only player for Team Godspeed for this race, since Nod was not available due to TCS matches, and unfortunately we do not see Talkie and Dex racing in this series, even though they are registered. They're more like shot callers for the entire team. So yeah, Quentin is on his own, trying to fend off the other two people teams, except for Team Broken Wrist. It's pretty much a 1v1 between Broken Wrist and Godspeed at this point, since Eric is also driving alone on behalf of Team Broken Wrists. We're almost halfway through the race. Quentin still in 1st place, trying to pull a gap to Eric in 2nd place, and the gap seems to have been pulled a little bit compared to the previous laps. Now we're up to 2.5 tenths, even 3 tenths now, over the course of the last few laps. Cloud in 3rd place, 3.6 seconds down. He made a mistake! He has hit the wall, I think, at the exit of that CP. That's going to promote Vince up to 3rd position for Team Kuusenkerkkä. The German driver has inherited 3rd place with some juicy points. That will still be a good, some good haul, despite not being enough to actually get into the into the grand final straight up. At the end of lap number 12, halfway through the race, Quentin 43 is your leader, 2 tenths up on Eric in 2nd place. Then Vince in 3rd, Cloud, Yogo, LMB Willie, Suram, Mixu, Rex, and Voyager complete your top 10. Sneem in the 11th, Bull 12, Larens 13th, Mr. Trolley Molly 14th, Matze 15th, Noni 16th, Coco 17th is the final man still running. The only retirement to actually report is the one from Dex due to a game error, as the gap has closed back up again. Eric is going to try to pull a move again on Quentin 43 for the lead. let's actually see how we're gonna get back up there for Team Broken Wrist. Quentin trying to go for a bit of a wide line right here, getting really close to the checkpoint at the exit, and he's going to be able to retain that first place. Now we're going to have to see something special from Eric. A really nice section compared to Quentin 43. Maybe this particular section, you know, we can actually pull it off, but this could be also the Charlie section, which can actually unravel everything. It seems as though it is the latter case that's happened for Eric, with a really shallow entry into both of the corners, and that's going to allow Quentin to have a little bit of room to breathe. Now back up to half a second of a gap between himself and Eric in second place at the end of lap number 13. Meanwhile, Vince is a little bit alone compared to the top two fights. Currently 4 seconds down on Eric in second position, and then we got Cloud 1 second down on Cloud in fourth position, and then LMB Willie is another second down in fifth place, but he gets caught up by both Yogo and Suram. These two Norwegians haven't left each other since the last few laps. Mr. Trolley battling for top 13. Yeah, actually battling with both for top 13 as a matter of fact. Currently 4/10 of a gap between the two drivers, although the battle here between Suram and Yogo is looking to be set to last unless we see mistakes like that. Just as you said, the Norwegians stick together, VB, they just split as a result of that mistake by Suram, and that's going to allow Yogo to have a little bit of a free reign compared to the Team Demise driver and trying to catch back up to Team LMB Willie from Team Extremely Disorientated in fifth position, although it's not really looking like a reeling in. The reeling in is really going to happen right now for Team Exortus. Meanwhile, towards the lead, the gap has definitely widened between Quentin 43 and Eric from Team Broken Wrist, as Coco gets lapped for the first time in this race after lap number 14 onto lap number 15. Is currently into the he's currently the very first car to be lapped at la régulière, as we would say in French. Every time you see LMB Willie, you read Limp Willie. I almost fell into the same trap as well. Meanwhile, Vince is 4.5 seconds down on Eric for second position, but look at Cloud. He's managed, actually Cloud was back up to half a second as I was going to spectate it, but now the gap has widened again to a second and even a second and a half compared to Vince in third position. So Vince right now looking pretty safe for that third position right now. So, oh, it seems as though we may have a mistake from Quentin 43 when we missed off camera, and that's allowed Eric to get back to within a 10th and a half of the Team Godspeed driver from France. And now we're going to have potentially to witness a round 3 of the battle for the lead. Let's actually see if we have any new fastest lap of the race so far. It seems as though, nope, we still have the fastest lap for 103.4017 by Eric in second position. In second place in the ranking, sorry. Eric touching the inside as we say that, and after that mistake from Quentin that allowed him to catch back up, Eric makes a mistake by himself in this banked turn, and that allows Quentin to get back up into potentially a second of a gap between himself and second place, giving himself a little bit of room to breathe 2/3 of the way through the race. And yeah, in terms of battles, let's see. Still Yogo and Suram sticking together. As a result of that, Yogo still in front of Suram and getting left behind by Mr. LMB Willie here, although Yogo made a really a bodge of the exit here and got overtaken by Suram quite easily. He makes another mistake touching the wall, and that could potentially allow Mixu from Finland to get back up there and try to overtake people, trying to overtake Yogo for 7th place when he does catch back up to him. Then we got Cinemini 4 seconds down, and Rex in the top 10, 15.8 seconds down on the leader right now, which is currently Quentin 43 from Team Godspeed, the Frenchman, holding steadfast since the beginning of the race, despite a strong fight being put on the early laps by Eric. With 8 laps to go, it looks as though Quentin has got this under control. Let's actually take a look maybe at some of the people further behind in the field. We got Mr. Trolley Molly and Larens battling it out for P13 again. Bull getting overtaken by both Larens and Mr. Trolley Molly. Bull down to P15, and currently Larens is trying to score some points, and it seems as though the home ground advantage isn't really kicking in for the Finnish driver from Team Smurfen 1. as he currently finds himself down in 13th position and had a really bunch of a start, and he got overtaken by pretty much everyone left, right, and center here, and he's currently finding up the assaults of Mr. Trolley Moly, although Mr. Trolley Moly has managed to get the better of Lawrence in this lap and crosses the line in P13 to start lap number 18. Meanwhile, the next target will be Matze in 12th position. He's currently trying to catch back up to Voyager and have a little bit of a battle on his own for a benefit of 11th position. Meanwhile, the Voyager is way too far behind compared to Rex to actually have a chance to get into the top 10. There was a 2-second of a gap between Rex and Voyager in 10th and 11th. Willie made a mistake. Ooh! Missed that on camera, and yeah, you're right. Suram is past him, so we got one Team Demise driver in the top 5 at the very least for the Norwegian outfits. And MB Willie is in 6th position. Meanwhile, Yogo has made another mistake as well. It seems as though he's not really lacked pace right now in the last couple of laps, and he's still in 7th place, and he got left behind by the rest of his opponents. And Mixu is still trying to catch back up to him. He's not really that close to do an overtake right now. So yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult for Mixu to catch back up, but anything can happen in Trackmania, and it usually does, so keep your eyes peeled on that. So meanwhile, Eric is getting left behind by Quentin 43. Although he tries to catch back up, there's now a 9/10 of a second gap between himself and the leader in first place. Quentin 43 in first, 9/10 up in front of Eric in second place, and then 6/10 down on the leader. We're gonna get into third place here with Vince from Team Coupe-Ferrand. He's 1.1 seconds up on Cloud from Team Amplified in P4. So yeah, Team Amplified, although they don't really need the points and the win for this one, they are still not really looking good. Cloud in P4 and Bull not having trained in P15. 5 laps to go as the result of lap number 19. Quentin still in the lead, 7/10 up in front of Eric in second place. Eric having managed to climb 2/10 from Quentin in first place. And yeah, new fastest lap of the race as well with the 102.950 from Eric. That's less than 2/10 away from the world record actually set by Mebe, which is a 102.774. So yeah, Eric is going to be pushing like a hell to try and get back up to that first position here. He's got 4 and something laps left to actually catch back up to Quentin and try to put up a fight for first position right here. Meanwhile, Vince is seeing a cloud coming closer and closer to him. He's getting reeled in by the Flying Dutchman from Team Amplified. He's currently finding himself around 8/10 down on Vince, although he touched the wall just as we switched to him, so that's going to give Vince another bit of room to breathe here compared to Cloud. Cloud is down 1.4 seconds now on Vince in third place. Meanwhile, Eric trying to catch back up to Quentin again, but it seems as though the gaps have stabilized for this particular set of laps. 4 laps to go now for the leaders as we are heading closer and closer towards the end of the race. Quentin 43, the only representative for Team Godspeed, and Eric, the only representative for Team Broken Wrists, are leading this race. It seems that the 2 driver squads have gotten defeated by both of the one-man armies that we're seeing right now. Quentin and Eric battling it out with each other, and a really nice exit from Eric compared to Quentin, who made a mistake, has enabled him to get back to within 2/10 of a second within each other. And now we could potentially see an overtake being pulled by Eric for first position. He gets within the gearbox on Quentin 43 as the result of this snaking section. Onto the final part of the map we go. Now we're going to see a mistake on behalf of one of the 2 leaders. Quentin 43 still holding steadfast, not putting a foot wrong. Watch out for that wall towards the outside, and Eric overtaking improving that fastest lap again with a 102.919. He's driving an absolutely insane pace. Quentin cannot do nothing about it to actually contain the pace of Eric, and it seems as though Eric is going to be poised to take first place with that kind of pace that he's showing right now. He's within 0.5 of Quentin in first position, although that corner looked a little bit dodgy, and Quentin touching the wall. That's going to be it. The lead change is happening. Quentin is down to second as a result of this small blunder by Quentin by himself, but it seems as though he's still remaining within the fight. So Quentin is still in with a shout of taking first place if Eric is going to get onto he's going to get into a mistake in the next sequence of corners right now. Quentin 43 could still take a win for Team Godspeed if anything happens. but he's gonna have to drive out of his mind to defeat Eric from Team Broken Wrist, who's on an insane pace right now. We're gonna have to watch the timing for this lap on behalf of Eric right here. Let's actually see the chronometer. 103.250 is not as fast as I was actually expecting, but still a cracking time indeed. Meanwhile, Quentin trying to reel Eric back in, although Eric managed to get a much better exit than Quentin with a little bit of a clip that could potentially allow the Frenchman to clash back in, but no, actually the gap gets pulled. He's trying to stretch the gap, Eric. He's now 2/10 up on Quentin in third place as we are halfway through the penultimate lap. Meanwhile, Vince is looking pretty safe in third place with 2.8 seconds of a gap between himself and Crowd in fourth position. Eric still leading convincingly the race, so 1/10 of a second in front of Quentin in second position. Quentin trying to do his best to put the pressure on Eric and try to snatch that first place away from the Broken Wrists player from Germany. As we see that Eric goes for a really wide line. He tries to save it as much as he can. I don't know if he was really on the bagger of a time here. Let's actually check on the CPs. He's 1/10 down on his personal best. Eric from Sweden. Okay, sorry, Lokring. Sorry. Still, Eric on a really nice pace. 103.0, that's not too shabby as we head into the final lap of the race. Quentin hitting the wall. That's going to be sealing the fate of everything, surely, as Quentin makes the mistake first on the final lap, and the gap has stretched. It's all over for now, and now we're gonna get Eric going for a victory lap, trying to save his way towards the checkered flag with an 8/10 gap between himself and Quentin, down to 7/10 of a second, potentially due to a little bit of the pace relief from Eric in first place. Eric looking set to take the win for the Team Broken Wrist with a really nice negotiation of that downhill right there. Quentin can do nothing about it unless a mistake happens on Eric in the last couple of corners. But it seems as though Eric has managed to withstand the pressure and has managed to make Quentin crack under pressure and turn. And that's going to be the victory for Team Broken Wrist. And Eric from Sweden is going to take to the checkered flag the final corner, and Eric wins the Premier League race on Kuusenkerkkä. Quentin 43 in second place for Team Godspeed, not too shabby from the Frenchman. Third place for Vince from Team Coupe Feroce. Then we got Cloud in fourth place, Suram fifth, LMB Willie sixth, Yogo in seventh place, and Mixu will be crossing the line in eighth position. Cinemini will be crossing the line in P9, and Matze will follow suit in P10. Voyager 006 will cross the line in P11. Mr. Tolimoli in 12th. Larens 13th, Rex 14th, Bull will be BMing a little bit, it seems. Yeah, it will allow Noni to get back into 15th position, and then Bull will actually move back onto the start-finish block. Yep, start-finish block for Bull, so it seems as though it is a bit of BMing. He will not take the points. And meanwhile, Coco is on his final lap. Bull is on the start block, waiting to crush the dreams of Coco, who potentially could get a place further up the leaderboard and score a few points nonetheless for 16th position. Coco negotiating the U-turn around the CP. The heck is this horn, man? Oh, yeah, actually touching the wall as we switch back to him, so yeah. Coco going through the snaking section right now, and it seems as though Bull will be waiting for him patiently as he goes for the burnouts on the eternal slide, the Kansei Drifto eternal line for Coco, but watch out for Bull, he's gonna try to snipe him. Swiper, no swiping, Swiper, no swiping. There comes Coco. Coco will actually BM and cross the line in 16th position. It seems as though Bull will not even bother, and he's just gonna stick there and savor the moment and make everyone wait for the race to finish in 17th position. So then, that gets us the chance to actually take a look at the final standings. Eric, the winner of the Premier League race. Quentin 43 in second place. Vince in third completes the podium. Cloud fourth. Suram fifth. Willie, LMB Willie, Yogo, Mixu, Cinemini, and Matze complete the top 10. And in the end, he actually did finish Bull and take to the line. GG's, everyone. And yeah, the rankings are about to be updated. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the time to also update my fancy version of the ranking in Photoshop. Let me just take the time here. We're gonna reveal the final standings just after 1 minute or two. Let me just take the time to actually update the scores. Don't worry, guys. I'm still there. I'm just updating the scores. And yeah, there are quite a few position changes, so it might take a little bit of time to have everything ready. There we go. So I got the teams in the right order. Now let's take a look at the scores. There we go. So, we have got everything under control. We've got the rankings updated pretty soon. I'm exporting the PNG right now. I'm also cutting off the game sound because we're now back onto the simple music scene. Let me just update that. Okay, so studio mode, standings, Premier League standings. There we go. So, let's actually take a quick moment to get back to the webcam scene. So there we go. This has been the final race of the group stage, and thus we can take a look at the standings after day 6 and the final standings of the Premier League. So, Team Amplified come out on top of the league with 233 points scored over the course of 6 days of racing. Godspeed Team 1 in second place with 176 points. Team Demise is third, 5 points behind them with 171 points. Team Extremely Disorientated stays in 4th position with 147 points, and 5th place for Team Broken Reese with 138. So, Amplified, Godspeed Team 1, Demise, Extremely Disorientated, and Broken Wrist are gonna earn a really nice week of rest as they are qualified directly for the grand final, which is gonna happen on June 7th. Then, 6th place for Team Exortus with 105, being the 6th and final team in the Premier League to break the 100 points barrier. Team Smurf1 were just shy of it with 98 points in 7th position. Then Team Kupferosse managed to get back up to 8th place as a result of that race with 89 points. Then Team Smurfen2 is in 9th position with 87 points, just 2 points behind Team Kupferosse. And in last place, rounding out the Premier League standings, is Team Speedrun with 64. But the adventure is not finished for these teams because there's still the qualification final to, or the consolidation final, should I say, to actually play. So yeah, we do have Amplified, Godspeed Team 1, Demise, Extremely Disorientated, and Broken Wrist entered straight into the grand final, but we have 5 spots left to decide, and so it will be between Exortus, Smurfen Team 1, Smurfen Team 2, Kupferosse, and Speedrun for the Premier League. And for the Open League, they're gonna have to race against Something with Butter, AD Racing, Jean Bjorn, Godspeed Team 2, and Twister Eagle. So yeah, it could be set to be some really interesting matchups coming up in the next week. Qualification finals, or consolidation final I should say rather. So this has been it for the coverage of the group stage of SCL Canyon Endurance Premiership Season 6. Our team is not, so that's it for us this year, but we'll be cheering the rest of the team, of course. Yeah, don't worry, you're always welcome to tune into the guests. Thank you very much to all of you who just joined, and I also have a follow that I missed. Thank you very much, Rambo from THE, for the follow. Really nicely done. For all the teams out there, even those that were unfortunately eliminated in the Open League. So yeah, well done to Team Smurfin 3, 4, and 5, and CN 2020 who actually played this. That was a lot of fun to cast through the group stage, and the action is not over yet. Next stream for the SCL CEP Season 6 is going to be on May 31st at 8 PM for the consolidation final. And the next stream for me is going to be the Let's Talk Trackmania podcast with Arik Holdal and Paul Gillies, aka Scotty, on Tuesday at 9 p.m. CEST, and this one is going to be a Trackmania Awards special edition, and there's because there's a bit of a talk about Team Awards that we would like to do, and I feel like it will be also interesting. So yeah, don't miss it out on Tuesday. Let's talk Trackmania at 9 p.m. on my Twitch channel, Irik's YouTube channel, and Scotty's Twitch channel. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. That's going to be it for this weekend of action, and for those of you on my stream, I'll see you all next time. Godspeed, people!